All right, today I want to talk to you guys about some different planting and cropping strategies I use when I'm direct seeding early crops on the shoulder season. That's coming up next on The Urban Farmer. All right, I'm here at one of my urban plots and I've just prepared 6 different beds using my no-till methods. These beds were tarped before they were turned over, so they had a chance for the weeds to kind of germinate and expose themselves, while then I flame weeded them before I planted. So that aside, that's not what I'm talking to you about today. What I'm going to talk to you about today is some methods I use at the beginning of the season when I'm planting, so that I can do less planting to give myself more time to do other things on the farm, but then still have a succession of crops. So what this entails is manipulating the growing cycles of these crops. So what I'm doing here in these 6 beds is I'm putting in a bunch of radishes and turnips. And I'd like to get 2 successions out of here. So what I'm going to do is plant all of these beds, and then I'm going to cover them up with some poly low tunnels. So I'm going to put these hoops into the ground, cover them all up, get them established, and then what will happen after a couple weeks is I'll take the tunnels off some of them. Maybe 2 of these beds, I'll take the tunnels off so that I can slow down their growing. So the ones that are under the tunnels will grow like they were in a greenhouse, and then these ones outside will slow down. And that's what I want to do, so that I can have those at a later date. Because if you plant too much right away and then everything's ready at once, well then sometimes that crop might get too big and spoil before you have an opportunity to sell it. You know, radishes, if they get too big, they get woody. So the idea here is that I can use the springtime shoulder season to my advantage, get away with doing less planting. So I can essentially do 2 successions of plantings in one work session. Come in, plant all these beds, cover them all up, take those tunnels off. And you know, you can do the same thing actually with tunnels if you want to expedite a crop. Say you had a crop that you're going, oh, okay, you know what, I'd like this to be ready in a week, but it's still got about 2 weeks to go. You could put some tunnels on it and speed it up. So these are things that we're constantly doing on our farm. We're trying to always find ways that we can do 2 or 3 or 4 jobs at once without having to come back and do it again. And so when we're planting on the shoulder season, it's a slightly different approach. You know, we're doing wider intervals and larger amounts of crops, whereas when we go into the high season, we're planting shorter intervals and smaller amounts of crops. So let's say if I need to have 2 beds of radishes available each week, on the shoulder season I can probably get away with planting 4 or 6 at once, use this tunnel manipulation to get different successions, whereas in the summertime or the main season, for me it's about May until early September, I need to plant 2 beds of radishes each and every week. But in the shoulder season, because I've got shorter day lengths and colder temperatures, I don't have to have the intervals so tight because I'm not worried about the crop getting too mature too quickly. Whereas in the summer or main season, that's exactly what I need to be concerned about. So I hope that helps. If you found that useful, please hit the subscribe button right now. Like and share these videos with your friends. And if you want to see more in-depth information like this, check out my online course, ProfitaBleUrbanFarming.com, and my book, theurbanfarmer.co. All right, thanks for watching.